Hello guys, this is Glenn from Sydney CBD Repair Centre, and today we have a Huawei Mate 20 Pro that is in need of a screen replacement. And you can see David is on the job. Right off the bat, we're going to remove the back cover or the back glass of this Huawei Mate 20 Pro. It's kind of very difficult. So based on our experience, Huawei smartphones are pretty good in terms of build quality. And unlike the Samsung Galaxy smartphones, the parts are not really that modular. You have to remove piece by piece of each component in order for you to replace the front display. But there is no problem with David because we have the parts here. This is the replacement display, and David is also pretty good at dealing with any smartphone brands, including Huawei. So we're gonna unscrew everything and remove this first layer. This is the NFC and the wireless charging. You're just gonna be very careful. This is a very sensitive and very thin film. We're just gonna yank it out carefully. So we're gonna remove some of these flat cables. This is for the display, or some of these can be tested before we fully disassemble the whole thing, but sometimes David tends to directly replace the entire thing and then test it after he fully reassembles the device with the replacement display. So we're gonna remove the SIM card tray, the connectors, and the shroud for the daughter board. And just like what I said, you have to remove bits of the components here. And fortunately, this motherboard is in one piece, but it's also gonna include the antenna cables. So for DIY repairs, if you want to try this or you're an enthusiast for electronics, you can try, but make sure that you track your progress. Don't let the screws get loose around your work area, because you need to put them back where they are assigned or where they belong. So this one also is in a different piece altogether. This one, so it's kind of really challenging when repairing Huawei smartphones. As you can see, the battery is pretty big. And now we're gonna transplant all the components to the replacement display. The replacement display also has an integrated chassis on it. So when you replace the display, you are basically replacing also the chassis of your Huawei Mate 20 Pro. So we're just gonna reverse our process here. So David here is showing his expertise on Huawei repair because I really can't keep track of these many components. This is the battery. We're gonna install it first because the cables are going over the battery first. So if you install all the cables, that's gonna be interfering with the data signal. So if you have a Huawei smartphone that is in need of a battery replacement, we can also do that. Also the same process here, but we're not gonna remove everything. Just like the motherboard, there's no need for us to do that. We're just gonna replace the battery. Or if you have a problem with your charging port, we can also replace that because we can access it through this process as well. So we're gonna screw it in. Sometimes we use the electric screwdriver to make things faster, but for sensitive parts like this one, individual parts, David uses the manual screwdriver just to be safe. So we're just gonna connect everything, and then we're gonna install back the motherboard. The camera system is already soldered onto the motherboard, so no need for us to worry about that. Some smartphones have the camera system separate, as a separate module, which is kind of good because you can easily replace those. You can take it out as a single piece and replace it with a new one. We have already done similar repairs previously. So we're gonna install the NFC wireless charging pad, and we're gonna test it for the very first time. So if you don't know what you're doing with your DIY repair, and then at this stage your device won't turn on, you will need to perform some advanced troubleshooting. But if it turns on, then congratulations. Touchscreen is working, display is working. We're gonna test everything. Also gonna test the signal, and then we're done. We're just gonna put it back all together. The same back cover, no need for us to replace this one. It's still pretty good aesthetically. And then we're done. I hope you enjoyed it, guys. We're just gonna clean it up, put cover on it, and I'll let you enjoy the process of putting a cover for Huawei Mate 20 Pro. And just like that, one swipe. And I tend to see this trend with David, and when you see a bubble on the side, you can just lift it up, just like what he will do here. As you lift the upper layer of the plastic, and if it doesn't go away when you smudge it out, you just lift it up a bit, then let the air out, and then push it. And it's kind of clean, actually. The output is very clean. And this one also tends to bubble up in the corners, and if you don't clean it up, sometimes lints can get trapped and then haunt you while you're looking at your smartphone. So it's done. Pretty nice. So thanks for joining, guys. I know you enjoy this video. Until next time. Cheers.
If you want your smartphone fixed for a very reasonable price, you may contact Sydney CBD Repair Centre. We also provide mail-in repair services for customers outside of Australia or Sydney. Just message us so we can arrange the shipping of your device.